Morning guys, welcome to the 7th of September. I don't know if you can hear behind me, but it is actually raining. Just a nice pitter patter of rain coming down. We have had quite a bit of rain in the last 24 hours. It's a little bit annoying, to be honest. So I'm down here at the moment in our hay field, which is all rowed up. I'll get to that in a minute. I've just come over my tree bridge over there, and the water level in this pond has come up. Sorry, in this stream. There you go, it's up there, which is about 8 inches, 2 foot from this level. And the bit here that I've missed is the wet patch in the field, and that's actually lower. It chucked, it was supposed to have rain yesterday when I looked at the forecast before I mowed all this. Well, we had a good downpour on Saturday. It absolutely hammered it down yesterday while I was rowing this up, and it's supposed to now rain today as well. The water level has actually come up in here. As you can see, there's water stood there, and it wasn't there the other day when I mowed. So yeah, it's not looking great at the moment. There are a few patches of wet in these, well, in the rows as well. So we'll have to see what happens. But you're probably wondering why I've rowed it all up. Back to a bit of old school thinking again. The principle being, if you know there's heavy rain coming, everything's likely to get wet. To be fair, if it's a shower, this way it's better. But you row it all up. Basically, the rain comes, lands wherever it wants. The ground dries out quicker, or more of the ground dries than under the swath. You then flip your swaths over onto dry ground, and then that line where your swath's been dries out. Basically, it stops having to have the hay at the top dry out, and then your ground underneath starts drying but evaporates into the hay, which means you then have to dry your hay off again, if you see what I mean. If you've just got one big sheet of it, it kind of has a little battle between itself and takes longer to dry. Whereas this way, I can then throw it onto somewhere dry, evaporate the water out of that strip, and then the hay turns wet side up anyway and dries out. Another reason for it, it also helps keep the colour, especially in summer. I mean, this has gone slightly grey, it usually kind of does down here. If anybody knows why, let me know please, because it kind of baffles me. I presume it's just to do with it being second cut. But yeah, if you keep it in the swath, it keeps the colour a bit better for when you come and bale it. Another reason I turned it, and I was turning it in the rain yesterday, which when it's this wet really doesn't make much difference. But you can tell there's some of the grass that the big tedder did not turn out. You can see colour difference there. So I did actually pull it up to the top a bit better and laid it on top, so when it does finally start drying out again, the wet bits are on top of the swath, hopefully to be the first bits to dry out, as well as drying the rain out. Yeah, again, hay bob had a tine missing, so don't know how we can see, but left hand side's a bit scraggy and right hand side's cleaner. In all theory, I should have probably brought the big hay rake down and just done it all in big hay rake, and then probably put hay bob down the centre of it to break it out again. But I didn't. It's say rain came early yesterday as well, which didn't help the job. I turned up at about 12 o'clock after going to see the family, and the rain wasn't supposed to come until about 3. So yeah, and it absolutely bucketed it down. So much so that when I was down that end, I was actually making tram lines with the tractor tyres and the hay bob tyres. So yeah, so that's about it really. The weather forecast for this week is looking better now. It's looking more sunshine and cloud, and should be patchy sunshine. So hopefully, once this is cleared out, so we might get tonight to dry out, or start drying. Hopefully get it by Thursday, The grass itself is kind of a third dry, I'd say. It's definitely changed colour. It'd make a lovely haylage. But I know Anthony Farming said, what about wrapping it? Well, yeah, we would normally, but one, we have no market for it, so it'd have to be sold. And at the moment, especially this year, I think there's enough haylage and silage kicking around. If you watch Hay Team TV, you'll see I think a lot of theirs end up being wrapped for haylage because you just can't get the weather this year. Also, we've got a problem of we've got nothing to move them with apart from my big trailer and grab. We don't have a bale grab on the 698, so that means paying, looking about £1,000 worth. Plus nobody ever has the Trima brackets on, so there's another 50, 60, 70 quid for the brackets and another couple hundred quid to have them welded on, because I don't trust my welding. So by the time you've done all that, is 4 acres of bales, 20 bales, really worth it? Possibly, because we could do it again in next year's. But I know the owners of this estate have had little haylage before, and they used to have problems with the rats getting into them, which, to be honest, I think we've actually reduced rat numbers. You're always going to have rats around, well, in the countryside, around feeds, around animals, and because we've got a river there, they like to live around there as well. In fact, I'll just show you the river. It's not doing too bad at the moment. It's fairly low down. And yeah, wet again. I don't know if you can see over that side as well. There's one of the fishing pontoons. Hang on, I'll zoom in. Don't know if you can just see that. Ooh, just there underwater. My big finger. There's a little platform where the fishermen stand to cast off. That's usually summer levels, and it's only about a foot above that, so I think it'll fill up though this week. And that's the other slight problem we might have with this field, is that ditch being full now. It shouldn't be, because that's a lot lower, but we might have a possibility of flooding out again. Fun enough, like we had just after I mowed first cut hay, I think it was a week or two after I mowed it and baled it, it flooded again through the ditch. So yeah, joys. Do the gate back up, and then I don't think I'll bother with this bit. I think we're going to try and get horses turned back out. There's a bit of rubbish in here, but it'll disappear quick enough, so the girls can come back down for winter grazing. And then I'm going to try and hopefully start on doing the mole pounding the boys' winter field. Might start today. I'll try and work out which way is best in there, but we'll see. Right guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'll catch you later. Cheers, bye.